Hey, good to see you, Bob.
Good seeing you, Don. How are you?
Doing very well, thank you.
Well, it's a great day.
It is a great day.
So,
We have a great topic here.
yes, we do. Well, first of all, this is Bob Mangine, physical therapist, athletic trainer for about 45 years. So, she came down here from the University of Pittsburgh and been around the University of Cincinnati for quite some time. So, it's great being here. It's a great town. And we're about to introduce a great product.
I think so too. My name is Matthew Langenderfer. I am a University of Virginia Medical School graduate, and I did my orthopedic residency here at the University of Cincinnati. That's how I first met Bob. And I'm a private practitioner in Cincinnati, and we thought we'd discuss a little bit about something that you're going to become quite familiar with in the near future.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, the evolution and progression of crutches was stuck on autopilot for about 100 years. And then, along comes Will Scott and his company and some design changes that I think are exciting.
Very exciting, revolutionary.
Absolutely. And I think that if you look at the traditional models that are out there with the single point foot plate, I think it leads to a lot of issues that we in physical therapy have had for years.
Sure.
Everything from neural praxias, from too much pressure under the axilla, to chest wall issues, to wrist issues. If I had $1 for every patient who developed carpal tunnel from dealing with your traditional crutch, I'd probably be retired by now.
I believe it.
So I think this new design will be really exciting for people to see and for people to try, especially on your side of it with, you guys do so much work on lower extremity that these people are on crutches for anywhere from, 2-3 days to months.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months and longer sometimes.
So the neat thing about sports medicine is we kind of, pull them off the field. We get them looked at real quickly, and then, we're having to get them to the docs, and outstanding docs help us put them back together, and then we get them back out on the field so that, as soon as we get them in the training rooms or in the clinics, we have to get them on some sort of assistive device. And I think the device we're about to show you and show you the differences is going to be pretty exciting.
Oh, I think so, and you're absolutely right, Bob. When those athletes get injured, you're right there in the sideline, and you're establishing an injury protocol, and you're putting these athletes, you're calming them down, and you're getting them ready to get off the field and get a better examination indoors, and you're putting on some kind of device to help them off the field, and then they come and see the orthopedic surgeon, and we work out a plan. But then, whether we operate or not, they come right back to you, and then you spend the remainder of their recovery helping to manage their activity level, their weight-bearing status, and their coordination, and all the things that go with it. And so, as you know, we've put people on these crutches that just aren't safe, really, for as long as you and I have been practicing.
Oh,
and finally, there's an idea out here that we can live with.
right.
So,
I mean, heck, when I started in this business, you had one choice, you had wooden crutches.
Wooden
remember
crutches.
the old days with the wooden
I
crutches?
do remember
with the
them.
wing nut screws.
The wing nuts would get lost,
and,
the rubber
yeah.
would fall off.
And you were in trouble.
Who knows
or
what?
the grip bottoms would wear out, and the next thing you know, you're on a wing pole vault.
That's right.
And your
Exactly
crutches
right.
are slipping right out.
Can you imagine going through the university area, up and down hills and everything else on a rubber thing, miles and miles a day trying to get to class? It's just
Not very practical.
No, it's not.
I think if you look at, let's take a look real quick at a standard crutch. I mean, this thing has not changed for maybe 100 years.
Well, it went metal about 100 years ago, and then beyond
So,
thousands.
and if you look at, just start at the bottom and work your way up, you've got a contact area that's not very big.
No.
And these babies wore out pretty quickly depending on how much the patient would use them. And the second you wear them out, and a lot of people don't know they're worn out,
That's right.
they start on concrete with a metal surface, wet surfaces, they start slipping right away. You got a hand plate that hasn't changed. I can remember being a young PT back in Pittsburgh in the old days. Same design, only made out of wood instead of made out of metal, and really small grip. So, I mean, if you had a large hand, you'd have to wrap a bunch of junk around it to expand it. And if they had too big of or too small of a hand, they couldn't really get a good fit on it. And then you got the axilla. Wow. I mean,
Yes.
how many problems are caused by that design?
It's 100% if they lean on it. So
right?
Yeah, there's no way around it.
No way around it. So I think that you have to take this traditional model and say, you know, it's been there for a long, long time, and it's time to change. And I think that we looked at various options out there. You know, Will and I started, I don't know how many years ago, looking at options, and I think we came up with a pretty viable option. And I tell you what, let's just start with one of the singles, and then we'll move over. And again, starting back at the bottom, just look at the design of the bottom and the fact that you've got a wider surface, more contact area, almost looks like a tire, doesn't it?
Yes, yes.
You know,
With
so-
grip on each one of these little pebbles here, it's incredible.
Right. And then you have the ability to have this sort of kind of move as you move in a normal pattern so that you're not stuck vaulting the crutch almost like a pole vault, but actually have the crutch oscillate back and forth and really feel better as you're making contact. You know, the kids I've had on them have loved them because they feel more secure because of the width of the contact.
No question. Well, can you imagine when you step on that small cylinder, if you put direct pressure on it, you're on a surface area, maybe a few square inches. The second you reach out to take a step, you're on the edge of that rubber. We reach out with these things, and all we have is surface area everywhere, all across. The convexity, tremendous surface area, and the surface area actually increases as we go to the front. And like you said, you get this springing effect, this spring forward effect. That's just remarkable in the energy it conserves in the athlete who's on these.
Right. The other thing is we put in a little bit of a shock absorbency for you, so it's not quite as hard on your upper extremity as you're using them. The thing, most of our joints, and a lot of people don't look at it this way, but actually if you look at the hip, the knee, the ankle, you actually have a piston. We call it a degree of freedom. You have compression, and then you have the distraction phase. And you look at the traditional crutch model, that degree of freedom really isn't there versus the shock absorbency of a piston where you have compression versus you have the distraction phase. So it makes it much more comfortable for the athlete or the patient to be able to feel that and transition. So as you're walking, you're basically transitioning from one surface to another, one foot surface to the next foot surface. If we take, and Doc does a surgery where I can't weight bear them for a while, then these become your other surface. So something that looks more like a foot model is more secure to the patient than, say, as Doc said, a small portion of contact. So you look at that security, the safety, especially in inclement weather, the safety, and I think we're much further ahead than we were.
No question. The foot's an excellent design.
Take into account the hand plate. The hand plate ergonomically allows a more spread area of surface contact. Doesn't matter if you have a small hand, doesn't matter if you have a large hand. You're able to really get the contact you need with this, less likely to put too much pressure on that thenar and hyperthenar position so that you can get more surface contact with the hand. Too many times in this traditional model, we actually have to take tape and towels or tape and foam, and we keep taping over these in order to increase the surface area, whether it be up here in the axilla or down here at the hand placement. So I think this design, you know, just not right ergonomically.
I agree with you. The number one thing I see, Bob, the number one complaint on crutches is the hand pain. And some patients will say within one day of being on crutches, their hand aches. Can you imagine if you're 6 or 12 weeks and on the first day your hand aches, and then the hand aches, and then all of a sudden it's not only aching, but now my fingers are numb because I'm giving myself carpal tunnel. It's just it's a great disability to have to put that kind of pressure on such a poor design. But this fits our hand. We've changed the rubber and the energy restoring rubber that we're using. This will fit anyone's hand, large or small, and you can just put all your weight, and frankly, it's just comfortable. You should feel this thing. We're very proud of that piece.
Right, and I think that you look at the different devices Will's looked at over time, we're hoping to use this piece in other devices as well because of patient comfort, safety, and less long-term problems.
Absolutely.
The chest wall is really what I got excited about when we first started putting these together several years back, because one of the issues we worry about is obviously if that crutch shoulder piece, axilla piece is too high, you have your big number of nerves up here, and the next thing you know, you start getting pain all the way down your arm. So the curve on this was designed to fit comfortably on our chest walls. And then the amount of rubber and absorbency that this has gone through is such that you don't need to pad it anymore. You don't need to put those extra towel rolls up there. And the kids have really enjoyed the fact that this slope or this arch here fits much more secure within their chest wall, and they're able to get a more firm feel as they're using them. They don't get that front to back slippage.
No, there's no slipping out. It grips their torso, it's comfortable, and it doesn't injure their brachial plexus.
Right.
It's a win-win. You can put pressure on it. It's much improved.
The units are really easily adjustable. You know, you've got push pins in there. You can bring it up and down as you need, both on the bottom, the foot part, as well as on the shoulder part. Their traditional measuring techniques are the same. We go with the 2-finger breaths underneath the axilla, so that it's technically not designed to push up, it's designed to come in. And I think because of the foot plate, it's easier to get the pressure to the medial or lateral side and not have quite as much force up, but so that pressure's coming in.
Pressure's in. You bet. You bet. Well, what do you think about if we could connect these things together?
Well, I think it really makes it easier for you,
Yeah.
because if you're stuck in certain situations, it's a lot easier having the swing link so that I can control both of my crutches. Plus, if I keep my links there, as I'm moving forward, as I'm progressing or transitioning my weight forward, it's easier so that I can control it. It might be a little big for me because, you know, Will's a lot taller than I am, but it'll be a lot easier for me as I'm swinging this. I can feel the pressure keeping me into an upright position. It's got that pressure point to where it's helping my body transition, and then I can automatically bring this crutch. Or even if I bring both crutches, if I've got a 3-point gait pattern, I can bring both crutches and then bring my other, my normal leg with me. So I think the swing link is absolutely a great
I think it's a great,
addition.
it's a brilliant
Right.
innovation. There's no question. We're very proud of this product and the changes that have been made. Essentially, it's addressed all the hardships that we typically see with crutches. We have confidence that patients are going to be more stable, more comfortable. We're facilitating their recoveries. You know, I've had patients 2 days after surgery, when the reality sets in that they're going to be on crutches for 6 weeks, they're already depressed because their hands hurt, their back hurts, their hands go numb when they're pushing on it, and their underarm, they don't feel safe. Even athletic people that are pretty agile.
Yeah.
You don't look at some of the athletes at the
All
Division I
population.
level.
Yep.
They're falling over, let alone the average person that gets injured or needs to be on crutches.
Right.
I think we've systematically addressed each of the real problems, and pretty excited about this.
Haven't really seen the issues that we used to have to date,
Yeah,
so
going away.
it looks fantastic.
So, thanks for all your help with it.
Thanks, man.
Perfect. We had a couple things here, you see where you are, I want to talk about this, for just a second. You guys are better at this than I am. You hit on it, but I thought you were gonna go there, but one is posture.
Pressure's in. You bet. You bet. Well, what do you think about if we could connect these things together?
Well, I think it really makes it easier for you,
Yeah.
because if you're stuck in certain situations, it's a lot easier having the swing link so that I can control both of my crutches. Plus, if I keep my links there, as I'm moving forward, as I'm progressing or transitioning my weight forward, it's easier so that I can control it. It might be a little big for me because, you know, Will's a lot taller than I am, but it'll be a lot easier for me as I'm swinging this. I can feel the pressure keeping me into an upright position. It's got that pressure point to where it's helping my body transition, and then I can automatically bring this crutch. Or even if I bring both crutches, if I've got a 3-point gait pattern, I can bring both crutches and then bring my other, my normal leg with me. So I think the Swing Link is absolutely a great
I think it's a great,
addition.
it's a great
Right.
innovation, there's no question. We're very proud of this product and the changes that have been made. Essentially, it's addressed all the hardships that we typically see with crutches. We have confidence that patients are going to be more stable, more comfortable. We're facilitating their recoveries. You know, I've had patients 2 days after surgery, when the reality sets in that they're going to be on crutches for 6 weeks, they're already depressed
Yeah.
because their hands hurt, their back hurts, their hands go numb when they're pushing on it, and their underarm, they don't feel safe. Even athletic people that are pretty agile.
Yeah.
You don't look at some of the athletes at the
Happens all
Division I
population.
level.
Yep.
They're falling over, let alone the average person that gets injured or needs to be on crutches.
Right.
But I think we've systematically addressed each of the real problems, and pretty excited about this.
Haven't really seen the issues that we used to have today,
Yeah,
so
going away.
it looks fantastic.
So, thanks for all your help with it.
Thanks, man.
Perfect. Let me hit a couple things here, you can see where you are. I'm gonna talk about this, present spectrum, you guys are better at this than I am. You hit on it, but I thought you were gonna go there, but you didn't. One is posture.